lady. Like, no, I get that and understand that totally. Like, you need to know I will fight you without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
You need to know that. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. That is so funny. That without a doubt.
I mean, she was a little crazy. She knew my name and everything, though.
So it wasn't just that she did. It was also that she knew you.
I mean, there's nothing in the building.
No, just stay right there up front. You can stay right there, sit in the chair. It won't take long. Thank you. I'm getting ready to tag you in there. I'm sorry. Good morning. I see y'all logging on. Y'all came in fast. I'm sorry. We sitting up here talking and rambling. We already on. Hey, y'all. Hey. Hey. Linda was sharing with me that someone had come into her space. And she's girly but a little G. And she was simply saying that the lady that it was in her space, she would handle her if she needed to be. So I was explaining to her without a doubt, she's my kind of woman. Come in my space and I'm going to handle you too. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey guys, I see you logging on. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Yeah, we in here having good girlfriend chat. Y'all know I like good girlfriend chat. Welcome. Good morning. I see y'all on. Hey, Alice and Robbie and Nisi. Good morning. Welcome. Y'all come on in there. Hey, Jess. I see you in. Hey, Vaughn. I see Vaughn Tiffany. Hey, Diva. My best. I know. When my bestie hits the scene, I always light up.
This is cool because I have to admit, this is the first time ever I've done Facebook Live. I always.
Are you serious?
Yes,
welcome to my world. So Linda's a newbie to Facebook Live, so y'all make sure y'all be gentle and with her this morning. That is really, really cool though. And everything I do is Facebook Live. That is so funny. But I know you've done multiple interviews, so this is no different. I want to start off with my scripture, and I always look for a scripture that represents my guest. Mm-hmm. And when I was thinking about you this morning, I started thinking about the Proverbs 31 woman.
All right.
And I just want to read a little bit. It says, a wife of noble character or a woman of noble character who can find. She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works eager with her hands. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it's still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servant. She considers a field and buys it out of her earnings. She plants a vineyard. And so I'm going to stop right there. But for me, that's that woman you are. Like, I watch you and you don't even know that I watch you, but that's the woman that you are.
Well, that means a lot because I'm gonna be honest. Mm-hmm. That's how I saw my mom.
Oh,
and
wow.
My mom, and I wanted to be everything my mom was. That scripture was my mom for me, and so it's like so.
Well, I'm that's how I see you.
Yes.
That's
so
how I see you.
I'm truly honored because that's like my goal in life is I want to be everything that my mom knew I could be.
That's
and
good,
to be like her.
That's good. That's legacy.
So, wow.
That's good. No, well, that's how I feel. I was meditating. I'm like, what would describe her? And this is what I have that describe you. Hey, I want to introduce you to my guest. Here's my very special guest for today. This is Linda Rowe Thomas. You guys, please welcome her. Share the video right now. And I'm going to start with you like I do with everyone else.
Okay.
Who is Linda Rowe Thomas?
Wow. Okay. I used to think I knew who that was, but lately, God has like opened so many doors. I could have easily answered that at one time and said, "Oh, I'm a fashion designer," but now I've become a public speaker and so many more things that I'm like, really, God, what are you doing? So sometimes I ask God that same question, God, who is Linda Rowe Thomas? Because I thought I knew that I'm that fashion designer, but with the public speaking, for example, I realized that I feel like this is my purpose. This is who God meant for me to be. Yes. So I'm kind of stepping into that now and owning that. So,
good. You need to.
Yes.
Good. The very first, this is what you may not know. The very first time my mom knew who you were and other people knew. Yeah. The very first time I met you and knew who you were, we were at a Black Women Helping Black Women event. Shout out Tara Shepard and Crystal Perkins.
Yes.
We were at a Black Woman and you told your story at that event. And I was like so overwhelmed by just you sharing your story, by looking at this amazing woman who has come past all adversity. And I'm talking about took life by storm. and just created this world around her. You and the creator hand in hand. Yes. And for me, that was so dope. So when I started praying about people to interview for this year, because I'm real strategic about who sits on this couch with me.
I'm so proud to be part of this strategy.
But I knew January, I was dedicating January to the month of the entrepreneurs. Yes. Like I wanted January to be focused on entrepreneurs. And when you came up, I'm like, this woman is not, like, people see you as the designer, but when I would run into you, you were like, look, let's talk. I want to open this nonprofit organization. Look, I'm about to start this public speaking. And I'm like, this woman isn't just a designer.
Right. And I wrote a book too.
Oh my God.
It's in the process.
Okay. Oh, you're my sister. And so I'm like, this woman is way much more than just what I knew her to be when I started discovering. I remember, I told you I follow you. I saw the thing where you dropped something on Amazon, like you have your Amazon store.
Yes, that was such a blessing, and it was actually a shock. I thought it was spam or a joke or something, but yeah, Amazon reached out to me. And so now I have like my own landing page on Amazon.
That's so dope.
Where I get to pick my favorite things. So.
But you also did, you and I were sharing a little bit of something before we logged on, and you said something very powerful to me. You said you wanted to build an empire.
Yes.
Why did you say that?
Because some people will ask, did you ever imagine that you would be where you are today? Mm-hmm. And most people are like, no, I never would imagine. Yes, I did imagine.
Yeah.
I can remember at 5 years old walking around in my mama's heels with my daddy, because my dad was a minister.
Okay.
And he had a briefcase. Of course,
he had
the
briefcase.
Yes. And so I'd have his briefcase and my mama's heels on, pretending that I was going into work. And they would be like, oh, good morning, Miss Rowe. So I have always dreamed of this is what I wanted to be.
Yes.
And what I wanted to do. And I remember around 10, 11, I saw Mahogany with Diana Ross.
Yes, one of my favorite movies. Like, okay, so let me tell you this. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I have to tell you this. I'm a huge Diana Ross fan.
Yes.
Huge Tracy Ellis Ross fan. And they are my hair inspiration. That's why my hair has gotten so big lately. Because I'm just like, it is what it is. I don't care anymore. Yeah. If the hair gets big, it's going to get big. It's going to get massive. Thank you. So, I love Mahogany. One of my favorite movies.
Because I started sewing with my mom. I was 5. Hand, needle, and thread. And I just thought, I want to make clothes when I grow up.
Yes.
But when I saw Mahogany, Diana Ross put a label to what it was. Oh. And that's when I knew I'm going to be a fashion designer, because she was doing everything that I was sitting around coloring dresses with my crayons. And I was blown away that, oh my God, this is a real career. So from that time, seeing it, I've been saying I want to be a fashion designer.
Because you grew up on a farm.
Mm-hmm.
So your view of things were limited to the farm, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you grew up in a farm. So despite what your environment was, your view, even though your view was a farm girl, even though you were raised a preacher's girl, even though this was your dad's life, your view of how you internally saw yourself was way outside your environment, right?
Yes, absolutely. My mom always told me, she said, you're not meant for here. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really understand it, because I always been a dreamer.
Yes.
And so she was like, yeah, you'll be bigger places. And
wow.
You will I can't imagine you ever being here in Douglasville, Texas. And
wow.
She was like, I can wake up and imagine you in Africa or Europe and so she would always tell me that when I was younger, because I did dream, and I was young, in love with Jackie O and how she dressed, and that was always my muse.
Yes.
So, I just knew this is what I wanted. But now as a mother, I want that legacy to carry on. And the only way for that legacy to carry on is to build an empire. Yeah. I don't want to be a fly-by-night designer.
Come on,
Linda. I don't
Linda.
want to be a fly-by-night speaker.
Come on, Linda.
Author, any of that. I want it to be something that my great-great-great-great-great grandchildren
and that
is, can say, that's my
great. That's
me.
That's Mimi. That's Nene. That's great grandmother Linda. And that's so powerful. And the reason that's so powerful is that's really biblical, because it says we should leave an inheritance for our children's children. Yes. And an inheritance isn't just about your financial blessings. No. It's the legacy you leave. It's the good credit you leave. It's the name you leave. It's the empire you leave. It's the business that you leave. Generational legacies, generational generational wealth. I am all about that, and I'm definitely about building an empire. For some reason, we confuse, even for me, because I have ministry, that my ministry is just limited to me teaching the Word of God. But what ministry for me is what you just said. I'm about to do this thing. I'm about to build this empire. I'm about to launch some things. It's going to be done in God's name. But when I blow this thing up, and when God takes it over and blows it up, like, because I know God is about to blow it up, it's to empower women. It's to change lives. It's to empower kids. It's to create generational wealth in our communities.
That's exactly.
Come on. So that our communities don't feel like, especially those underserved populations, that this is what they're limited to. For me, that's ministry. For me, that's empire. For me, that's legacy. I get it totally. So let me ask you something. Tell me a little bit about the story. Tell me a little bit about the burn. Tell me a little bit about what made you say, forget this. This is not who I'm limited to.
That is all my mom. I always say that. When I start off telling my story, I always start with my mom. Because she's the reason who I am. But like I said, I was always a diva. I was 2 years old. It was the day before Thanksgiving, something like that. And I was standing next to a heater with my 6-year-old sister, and it exploded.
Like the little old school heaters.
I guess so.
Yeah, and, probably so. Okay.
But the thing about it is Mom said I had gotten up that morning and put on this little coat. It was like a little fur coat. At the hood. And
diva early.
Diva early. And I always say fashion saved my life because honestly, that's the only thing that got burned is what was exposed. And you can still see where the sleeves ended.
Where the sleeves ended.
And so I only was burned on my face and hands.
But
because I had put that little coat on there.
And so what was your mom putting into you? Because your mom could have been that person that was like, oh no, you know what I'm saying, and clouded you. Because sometimes when we deal with kids, when we deal with kids with illnesses or injuries, we become way more protective of them. What was your mom saying to you that just made you blow up into, nope, I'm not limited by anything anybody sees or thinks that I am. This is who I am.
Her whole thing was can't is not an option. And I remember she told me when my sister passed away, like 6 days later, and the doctors come in and they're telling her, you've lost one and the other is beyond repair. And she'll probably
never
have.
That's what they said, that you were beyond repair?
Yeah, because of, my hand. You got to realize, I'll tell my age, but this was 60, well no, it was about 70, 71 if I was 2. So they don't have, they didn't have like the technology and the medical advancements that they have now. So them looking at the fact that they had to amputate my fingers. And I've lost some on this. And honestly, I was burned so bad that my chin was down to my chest. And so they're like, how are we going to repair your child? Is what they were facing. And so I would say my dad was a minister, but my mom should have been, because she was the one that I learned my faith from, my true faith. And she said, she looked at that doctor and she said, you don't know the God I serve.
You gonna make me shout on this couch. You don't know the God that reaches beyond any limitations. Come on, mama.
And so it was like from that day to her last breath, she always told me, Ken is not an option. You may not do it the way your brothers and sisters do it, but you're going to do it and you're going to get it done. And the best example of that ever was she came, me having to get back to life was you have to do therapy with your hands. I had to learn how to use my hands. So they would make you do exercise. And of course, like any child, I didn't want to do that. So she comes in one day with this box, sits it on the table, and it's an organ. Right? And I said, Mama, what am I going to do with an organ? I can't play an organ. I don't have any fingers. And she whipped her head around. She said, don't you ever tell me what you cannot do.
Your kind of mama.
She said, you figure it out. And so, I was playing on top of old Smokey. Mary had a little lamb. Whatever was in that book, I played it. But that's how Mama was. She was like, figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. You're going to do it. She would put little objects on the floor. And tell me pick it up, but she would turn her back. And so I learned years later, she said, I didn't want to see you struggle, and I didn't want you to see me cry, but you had to do it, because the world is not going to feel sorry for you.
At all.
At all.
The world doesn't care. The world don't care if you broke. The world don't care about your sad story.
They don't care.
The world don't care if you were born of a single mom.
They
The
don't care.
world doesn't care whatever your limitations. It doesn't care that you're a single mother. The world doesn't care about that. You have to have enough wherewithal in you. Hear the voice of God, but you do. You have to have enough confidence and wherewithal in you that says, you know what, I'm pushing beyond any boundary or limitation that you even think that I can have. When I lost Jermaine, everybody was cool with me being the widow, pitiful, and sorry, right? I feel like that, right? And then when I got a revelation of who I was in the inside and this gift of gab, it was like the widow part is part of my story, but this ain't got nothing to do. And I'm not getting ready to let his death and what happened limit me and leave me at this one space in my life. I'm done. I'm just gonna be LMJ, and that's where it came from. I'm just gonna be LMJ. I'm just gonna be all that God created me to be. I just finished the book. I'm gonna kick through every door that I think belongs to me. If it won't open, I'm gonna speak to it, and then I'm gonna kick it in. I'm kicking it in. I'm kicking it in. Like, I'm kicking this in. I'm not living here. So that is so powerful. So tell me about your husband. How supportive has he been of your dreams? Because having a mate and having someone to support your dreams, especially if you have a mate where your mate blows up big, right? And your spouse is just real quiet or reserved, or in their own zone. And there's nothing wrong with that. People think all the time your mate has to walk with you in this thing. And sometimes I truly believe, not sometimes, I know that God sends you a person just to be your spouse, just to be the person that you need at home. So what's your relationship like? How supportive is he of you?
He is actually extremely supportive. I've known my husband since I was 18. We met in college, like those 3 days before class even starts. That's when we met, and we didn't start dating till probably, I don't know if it was the next year. But and we were married young. I got married at 20. So he was there from the beginning when I was staying up all night and I'm in there sketching. And it was just all a vision and a dream. And so he's very supportive of it because he knew from jump, this is what she wants to be. Because that's all I've ever said. What do you want to be? I wanted to run because I was a runner. I ran track. That's how I went to college. And I wanted to design, and that's all I cared about was running and designing. And if I wasn't doing one, I was doing the other. So he's always been extremely supportive.
What has kept you focused? Like, what has kept you focused? Because it's so easy to get distracted, right? It's so easy for people to come along and say, well, you should do this and you should do that. Because I have a lot of gifts and talents, but like coffee and conversations has become my thing. Writing my books is my thing. Ministry is my thing, but also going into the community and developing the entrepreneur, that's my thing. Like, I got this dream box in me. So when people,
I have one of those.
So when people start telling me their dreams and stuff, I'm like, man, I want to help you make this come alive. Like, I want to help you become exactly what you're seeing. What kept you focused? Like, what kept you saying, nope, I'm not choosing an alternative? Because your hands are. Like, what made you say, I'm not choosing an alternative?
I think it's just that, I don't know what it is. I was born with it. Because like I said, I don't remember anything else but wanting to be a fashion designer. That's all I can remember. Like my earliest memory of anything, it was making doll clothes. So that's always like right there in my gut.
That's my baby too. That's I call it my baby thing here.
It's like I went to school, like I said, UTA signed me to run the 400 meters, and so they didn't have design. So I took fashion merchandising. I went off and I became a buyer for like Belk and Macy's. I even did retail for IBM. But I always knew, like in my gut, no matter. You know, of course, it was like a lot of doors. And no, you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to sew because of your hand. And I heard all of that. But in my gut, it was almost like, no. It was that moment that my mom had of, this is impossible. And she said, you don't know God.
Ain't nothing impossible.
There's nothing impossible. And that's what she always told me. So, I had an older brother. He got killed when I was 15. And he had his little ways with me too of making me stronger. This is why I was such a big tomboy.
Me too. You and I have some similarities.
He would dare me all the time to do stuff. And so, and if you dare me, tell me I can't.
Oh, baby, I'm coming.
Done.
I'm coming harder. Tell me I can't do something.
Yes.
Tell me I can't do something. It strikes something in
that's
me.
like that fire.
Yes. Yes.
Do not tell me what I can't do.
Yes.
And it was just always like that. I walk into a
That's
boardroom
good.
and immediately see how people are underestimating me.
Yes.
Oh, guess what? This campaign is about to blow up.
Yes.
because
you
you're expecting 10.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you 2,000.
2,000.
Yes.
I'm the
And
same way. That's how I press into the enemy. When people are like, the devil's busy, I don't have time to focus on whether or not he's busy. He comes through people. That's
Yes.
how he's busy.
Yes.
I don't care about what they say. I don't have time to focus on this. What I'm about to show you, enemy, is this is how I'm about to get this done, no matter what.
Yes.
And every time he comes at me, I like wake up the next day even more focused.
Yes.
And I come harder.
Right.
Like anytime somebody tells me,
harder.
I wake up, I get a second wind and go, oh, okay, I'm coming harder
Yes.
at you. I'm coming harder at this. This lets me know I'm on my path, I'm on my dream, and I'm on my vision. So what do you have next? What's coming up next? What projects do you
I
have?
have a whole lot coming up. There's I'm actually about, like I said, the book, it hasn't like launched yet.
Okay.
But the book launch is coming. I'm about to do like you're in my new showroom.
Yes.
So
the showroom is amazing. Like the
So-
showroom is so amazing.
So I am doing I'm about to open up the custom business to be a little bit bigger. I'm also going to have ready to wear, which means people can actually just come in and shop.
Okay.
Like off the rack kind of thing, but it's all me.
Yes.
So that's one of the big projects, and I'm doing men's. I'll have dress shirts.
Oh,
cufflinks,
menswear.
and ties.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with that, and then
Yes.
branch out. It's a little further
Okay.
along the way. So it's a lot.
So how does somebody get a custom piece for you? Because now I'm sitting here going, I need a custom. Yes, I need a custom piece for LMJ. I need something designed. Some with my back out. I like my back out. Oh, the church folks just said, oh, that's okay. Oh, the church folks, I like my back out. Like I need a custom piece for LMJ.
Okay.
Now I'm like, man, I need a custom piece for
There's
LMJ.
a couple ways. The website, romásbylrt.com, or
Okay.
you can give me a call, 501-301-4913.
Okay.
And let's see what else. Oh gosh, there's Instagram, Facebook. All of that has any way to email me and set up an appointment, because right now I'm by appointment only, because
Good.
the other thing
That's
most people
exclusive.
don't know,
That's good.
I sew everything.
Oh wow! So
So,
you sew everything
I
yourself.
sew
You don't
everything.
hand it off to somebody else. You sew everything.
And that is the true beauty of
I
God,
love that. Come
is
on,
because people don't realize everything that's ever been down New York Fashion Week, and I've shown in Fashion Weeks all over,
Yes.
like probably 10 or more.
Yes.
I've dressed celebrities, all that. Everything that you've ever seen, I have sewn it with these two hands.
Oh,
So that's the beauty of saying to my mom, she probably won't have a good quality of life.
yeah. And your mom saying, "Oh, watch this.
You don't
watch
know
the
God
God I serve. You don't know."
Right.
I'm gonna start using that. You don't know.
The God
Every time
I
somebody
serve.
tell me
Yeah.
no, you don't know the God I serve. Well, watch
Right.
the God I serve do this for me.
Right.
Man, you have just encouraged me. What would be any tip that you would give to any? Just look at my viewers. What would you say to any entrepreneur, anybody that has a dream inside of them? What would you encourage them? How would you encourage them? What would you say to them?
That if it's truly your passion, is not an option. And I told a young man this a couple of days ago, actually. He started telling me, I would do this, but I'm worried about my academics. And I told him, if God puts a gift in you, limitations don't exist. Don't think about what you don't have. Don't think
Linda.
about what could happen, what could not happen. Just trust that God gave you that gift.
Girl, you
And
helping
use it.
me. Yes.
And use it. And that's what it's really about. If you have that dream and God truly gave you a gift,
Yes.
He's just waiting on you to stop saying I can't.
You almost
And that's
you
what
gonna
my
make me
mom
slap you. You ain't know how I feel like that. No, that's real.
But that's the truth of the matter.
That's real.
And because times get hard. Because I remember, I'm a huge dreamer. And my dreams probably wouldn't even fit in this room.
Yes, I get that. No, I get that.
I'm a big dreamer, but being an entrepreneur, you have to realize God takes you through like those seasons.
Yes.
And my favorite, it wasn't when I was going through it, it's the pruning season.
Babe.
Because
I'm gonna fall out on it. That pruning season.
That pruning season, because you may start and you're like, oh, this is what I'm about to do, and it sounds great to everybody, and they jump on and they're like, oh, I'm gonna be a part of this.
Yes.
And then when the struggle comes and you're like, oh God, why are these manufacturers? This was supposed to happen. This was supposed to happen. And then they start falling off, or they're like, I knew she couldn't do it.
Yes.
And when you're in that season, it's dark. And sometimes it's lonely. And
you're
like, God, but you said, but if you hold on,
you really ministering to me this morning, and you don't know it. I'm at that because it's real though, and you think when he's pruning you or he's fine tuning you, and he's showing you it in his way, and he's showing you the things that even he needs to remove from you that don't look like him, and the people that he needs to extract. And the people he needs to bring in that prudent season, it'll make it seems unstable, but it's actually really one of the most stable places in your life because you're enveloped in him. It is the best part. It is the best part. And
because you realize
that's good.
Before he elevates you, he removes all of that.
All the junk. To nothing.
Look, I'm from, like I said, I'm from the farm.
Yes.
That the best part of those greens is after those weeds have been picked out and they really blossom.
No, and that's real. And then you see the blossom.
And you see the blossom because that's when you're fed.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's funny because when I started, I just celebrated a year of Pillow Talk, a year of ministry. It won't be a year of Coffee and Conversations until March. Thank you. Just a year of Yo Girl Inc. launching my consulting services, like just a year. Finished my book this last year. And one of the things that I noticed at the year mark, I just feel like 9 months we carry a baby. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like this vision. Those first 9 months for any entrepreneur, you need to know it's going to be tough. That first year, it's going to be tough. It's not going to make a lot of sense. But if you tune into that internal voice in you and to the voice of God, he'll really lead you. One of the biggest things I learned was how much God really desires to communicate to you through your dreams. One, and to how much he likes to talk you through the process. And if you let him really walk you through the process, like everything everybody's seeing in Coffee and Conversations, it just keeps evolving. It keeps evolving. And everybody's like, what do you have going on over there? And they think I have a team of 10. And it's really just 2 and 3, 4. It's about 4 of us working on this, making this happen. But I got in my mind, this is what Coffee and Conversations looks like. It's Facebook Live now, but before the end of this year, it ain't gonna be Facebook Live. I'm walking into somebody's studio. Like that's my mentality behind this. This is how this is gonna evolve, and no devil in hell can keep me from what I'm going to achieve.
My favorite scripture. Call things that be not as
if they were. Come on.
And that's what I do
every day. You are so powerful. You encouraged me this morning. I hope you guys have enjoyed my time with Linda Rowe Thomas. Please make sure you connect to her. Go follow her on her Facebook page. She is a dynamic caller if you want her to come and speak and encourage. She partners. Who do you partner with? What are the schools you're partnering with?
Okay, I have Fayetteville, UCA, UAPB, now Little Rock Central. What is it? The high school, I think. Yes, the high school. So my goal is to expand to build other young entrepreneurs, because if you get them young and let them realize, hey, this is what you can do. Stop looking at those limitations. The world is... I
am big about mentorship. I'm big about mentors. I'm big about paying it forward. As a matter of fact, we're going to pick up interns this year. I want to start teaching some people how I do what I do, but I also want to teach them how to expand their mindset. A lot of times, like you said, our mind has us in this box, and God doesn't live in this box. When I first made a leap into ministry, my aunt came to me and she said, the Lord showed me you. And I said, yes, ma'am. And he said, everything that you did would be unorthodox. Like your ministry is not going to look like typical pulpit ministry. Everything's going to be, because I knew that there was a wealth of nations in me to go and grasp generations, to teach other generations how to create for themselves. Because anytime we're limited to a 9 to 5, we're limited to somebody else. And it's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. There are some of us that are called to the business world, but those are those of us that have businesses, that have empires, that have legacies in us, and that's how we make our mark in this world. But we will become so confused and think that we're just limited to this. And God is saying, no, I don't live in that box that you keep trying to put me in. I don't live in that box. Ministry for LaKisha LaKisha isn't going to look like ministry for everybody else. I'm not wearing big hats. I'm not doing I'm going out, I'm preaching. We getting folks saved, and that's important. But I'm also going to show people how to become the best them ever. Like how to reach in and get what's in the depths of them. Because you said it perfect. Your dreams are in the depths of you. And I want to show people, let me get what's in your belly, that thing you've been thinking about outside. Yes. So I'm going to labor coach you through this so that you can become the very best you that you're supposed to be. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. You don't know, like I have a wall of heroes of women that I really look up to, whether they're my age or not. Just women in the grind and hustle, and men too, and you are definitely on my wall. And I wanted to start my year with you because I just feel like you're amazing, Diva.
Well,
I feel like you're amazing.
I forgot to mention too, I started Designing Hope. I'm the executive director of that.
Yes, please talk about that.
Burn Foundation. It's for other burn survivors.
That's
and basically it's just to mentor them, to just offer financial support, scholarships.
How can somebody give to Designing Hope?
Designing Hope is designing-hope.org, and it's on Instagram, of course, and Facebook. So just look for Designing Hope Foundation. And
all right, Designing Hope Foundation. Y'all go sow a seed into her foundation. Sometimes you think $10, $15, $20 may not make a difference, but every dollar, I know about nonprofits, make a difference.
I work directly with Arkansas Children's Hospital to benefit all of those burn survivors, and Camp Sunshine, SOAR program.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's an amazing program because I get to work with Children's Hospital, and me being a burn survivor, I know the importance of it.
Yeah, and just even letting the kids see the hope that, like, that's how I do when I come out to sickle cell camp. I try to bring other adults who live with the disease. So my babies that see sickle cell disease see an adult living well with this disease. Because the thing with sickle cell patients, most of them have the mentality, I'm not going to be here much longer. And because they don't have that hope, they need to see the legacy of someone that says, no, I'm not dying at 20. No, I'm not dying at 40. Here it is. I'm not dying until I fulfill my purpose on this earth. And that is, what was your mom's first name?
Vera.
That's what Mama Vera said to you. Watch the God. Watch the God I serve. Look at the God. You don't know the God I serve. She's not limited to this position, point in time. And that goes the same for you. You are not limited to this moment in your life, to this position, to this time. God has a way of redeeming you and doing something new in you. You just got to be willing and just like, hey, I'm going for the gusto. I can't wait. Like, I got some new stuff dropping this year. Like, you just encouraged me even more to get this done. Well, we are out of time. You know, I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for my very first guest. Share this video. Follow her on social media. We'll upload it to YouTube in just a minute. Share this video. Get out your box. If there is a dream in you, and you know there's a dream in you, and you just don't know how to get it out, today I will be at the Roosevelt Thompson Library from 1 to 3. Come connect with me and let me talk to you. Now, let me tell you something. When we start talking about those dreams, that's my consulting service. That ain't necessary. I sow when he tells me to sow, but those are my consulting services. So if you're looking to give birth to something, that falls under something different. That's not just me. That's a part of my business side. That's the entrepreneur in me to help get what's inside of you out of you. I love you guys so much. You know how I feel about love. I love you so much. And I will see you back here Monday morning at 5 a.m. Go be loved today. Peace.